All right.
Give me 10.
Oh,
I will be right back. I promise.
no.
I
Did you say
promise.
So
10 seconds or
let
10
me,
minutes?
with the way this group goes, he'll be back sometime Thursday.
Right, exactly.
Give me 10 quick days. I'll be
Yeah,
right
hold
back.
on.
So-
just a minor week and a half. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to embark on what many have lauded as the most important research project in the history of sports science, nay, mankind itself. Our dear friend here, Mr. Crambles Johnson, has taken it upon himself to use the most high-tech of technologies that we have available. Well, I tell you what, Crambles, why don't you take it away and tell us a little bit of what the ultimate goal of your science project was, sir?
The ultimate goal of my science project was to come up with a way to accurately predict the winner of the SEC this upcoming season. And because it's a weird season, that I mean, I'm pretty sure is going to happen.
It might happen in empty stadiums.
Maybe it happens with empty stadiums. Maybe it happens with full stadiums.
Maybe
Who
they
knows?
only fill the upper decks of stadiums.
You could say literally anything, and I would believe you at this point. I decided that I would take two of the things that I love the most. One being SEC football, of course.
And the other being us.
Joseph and Keith and Gray, and definitely not Roe because his smartphone and computer both are broken. And I would take professional wrestling, and I would find a way to mesh them together to determine who's going to win the SEC in
Man,
20,
somebody Chandler's
2020.
getting kind of worked up over here.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, I kind of swallowed some spit the wrong way, and my voice got really raspy.
No, it's just really emotional for you.
So I spent an embarrassing number of hours with WWE 2K20 creating SEC coaches as wrestlers. And here's some things that you need to know. One, I'm not good at Photoshop or anything like that. So what you're going to see is just the most basic, like I took a picture of them, uploaded it to the game, and tried to make it fit facial expressions.
From what I understand of the WWE 2K series right now, you can be a professional graphic designer, and it will not make a difference. 2K going 2K.
I just don't care.
No.
So there are a few characters that I was especially proud of that look like the person that they're supposed to be. And there are a few other characters that look like the creator wrestler murdered them, cut off their face, and then put it over their face as a mask. So it might give you nightmares. I'm sorry. What we're about to watch is we have two different King of the Ring tournaments. One with the SEC East coaches, one with the SEC West coaches. And then, because, again, I have literally nothing to do right now, I created an entire pay-per-view style show that I called SEC Media Days, hosted in the Young Shell Dome. And I took all of the coaches who didn't win the tournament, and created storylines and matches around them that I will explain when we get there. And then obviously the main event of SEC Media Days is the championship for the newly created SEC Championship, which you will also see that glorious, glorious title belt. I've seen a lot of really beautiful wrestling championship belts created in my lifetime. I'm still a fan of Big Goldie from WCW, the big WCW World Heavyweight Championship title, just beautiful. One of the best looking titles. This one is so much worse than anything you've ever seen before. It's amazing. It is amazing.
But I think what is most important, more than how it looks, anything like that, is the fact that it just means more.
Before we get started, and since I'm calling the game, I won't make a prediction. No, I already know what happens in all of them. So let's just go through it. Quick predictions here for the tournaments. Gray, who do you have in the East? Who do you have in the West? And then who do you have winning overall?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. Jeremy Pruitt looks like he means business. Right here in the East, he looks pretty mean. And man, the West, I got Jimbo Moneybags coming out of the West, and Money Talks. I got Jimbo winning the thing.
I feel like the East can really be just about anybody's. Could be anybody's contest. I mean, you've got at least 3 different guys that are all visor bros between Kirby, Will Muschamp, and Dan Mullen.
It's a good observation.
Yeah, and I feel like the visor bros would have been a phenomenal tag team group under different circumstances. I'll be honest with you, I just feel really spiritually drawn towards Colonel Stoops over here. There's just something about Colonel Stoops that I just have fallen in love with, and I'm going to be rooting hard for him. So I don't know if he's going to win anything at all. He probably will flame out quickly, but I'm pulling for him. In the West, let's say Sam Pittman. Let's just say Sam Pittman, a true underdog story on both sides. And I'm going to stick with Colonel Stoops all the way. This is the worst prediction I've ever made. And
All right.
I am very open about the fact that I am god-awful at predicting things. I'm so bad at predicting things.
Yeah. So why not try to predict something that makes no sense at all?
Exactly.
All right, Keith. Keith, who do you have?
Well, I don't know who the hell or what the hell Ribbie is. Looks kind of like the kid from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Ribbie is the defensive coordinator at Tennessee. I'm shocked you didn't know this.
Cool. Well, I'm going to go with him and his boomerang from Mad Max.
As we like to say here at Running Out the Clock, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Wait,
Yep.
no. Yeah.
Okay, well, you're not allowed to pick Ribbie.
I don't care. I'm picking Ribbie.
We got Ribbie.
Yeah, Ribbie coming out of the East. Out of the West, I feel like Gus Malzahn's going to get it done. I feel like he's a dirty fighter. He's going to pull some chairs out, maybe a sledgehammer, and
Peter Gabriel style. I respect it.
yeah, Hornswoggle's going to come out from underneath the ring, and he's going to use him as an actual weapon. And because of that, I'm going to go Gus Malzahn to win the whole thing.
Okay, so there you have it. I'm not predicting because I know what happens.
Yeah, because you created this whole horrible world that we now live in.
I did.
Thank you for that.
I did. And I'm very sorry. What I will say is this is going to be really weird and a lot of fun. So
I'm in it.
with that said, let's roll the footage on the first match.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Oh man, I was thinking the same thing.
All right, match number 1 is the 1 seed and the quote-unquote 8 seed in the East, which is a character known affectionately as Ribbie.
These tournaments are built for 8 people. Each division has 7 coaches. I put the worst character in the game that I could find as the kind of buy round, and that's Ribbie. Ribbie is a character from the My Career mode who your created wrestler loses a loser leaves town match in Memphis, Tennessee, too, and he's a 60 overall.
I'm sorry, that's the greatest storyline I've ever heard in my life. Can someone please put that in real life wrestling?
So I modeled the wrestler Kirby Smart after Mike the Miz Mizanin,
Yes.
formerly of Real World New Orleans fame, and I did that because the Miz is a good character, but he just kind of tries to emulate whoever the big thing in wrestling at the time is, and I feel like that's what Kirby Smart's doing. He's just trying to be Saban.
I love it. Here
does
we
Kirby
go.
Smart
Also,
have sort of a burn on his face.
I did not know how to turn off the thing in the entrances where other wrestlers come out and beat them up.
Yes, Kirby.
Yes, Kirby. That might happen a few times. I'm pretty sure Kirby's entrance is Vince McMahon's no chance entrance.
Look at him.
It's so much better without music. It's
I know, it actually is.
It's psychotic.
Does he have a smile on his upper lip? Why does the face paint look like that?
I gave his face paint the Road Warriors because all I could think about was that kid from the Georgia game a few years ago, painted up like the Road Warriors, but like go Dogs.
Yeah.
You know? And so that's
It's just
basically
okay.
and
It's
look,
just the way it hits his lip, it
anything-
looks like a drawn-on smile.
yeah. Anything that looks weird about their faces is horrific.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he has Psycho Sid's entrance. I didn't realize that until the thing lit up. But I guess it works.
See. No, I see what it is.
Oh, no.
It's Kirby Smart's grin is on his upper lip.
Yeah, it's actual
Yeah,
smile.
that's what's
Like
freaking
hovering
me
above
out.
his mouth.
Here he comes. Oh, he's got tights
Yeah.
on. Hey, is it too late for me to change my prediction to Ribbie as well? This guy looks unstoppable. Look at his video in the background. It's like turn up the heat. More than meets the eye. Too sweet. This is so good. He's waddling. Why does he waddle? I demand a game mode that does nothing but explore the rich history and backstory of the character of Ribbie.
I would buy that game
No.
immediately.
How could you possibly get in the mindset to fight this guy?
You just can't. I mean, look at him. He's like 14 feet tall when you count the bone jutting out of his skull.
Which is a legal weapon, by the way.
It is. Totally.
And he's acrobatic,
Wow.
too.
Yeah.
Athleticism.
This guy has it all.
I believe his mascot mouth more than I believe Kirby Smart's face mouth. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Match number 1, the highly anticipated. His arm's broken. Ooh. Kirby's already. Oh my God!
Yeah.
He's dead.
Oh, no!
Kirby's dead. Kirby's dead. He just got rib bone.
He took a bone straight to the face.
Nice reversal there.
Oh,
Oh man.
wait. Is there a TV on the turnbuckle? Is that what I'm looking at?
Looks like it. It's an LED screen,
Could
man.
be.
Get with the future, man. It's
Yeah,
2020.
yeah. They do that with Raw now. Everything has a video board on it.
So help me, if Ribbie gets counted out, I'm going to be livid.
I'm still super impressed that Kirby Smart after got up after getting impaled by a rib.
Right?
Kirby Smart shows no mercy.
The crowd is loving this count. They're like, yes, 5, yes!
Kirby just throwing him back and forth.
Yeah.
Like he's nothing.
What's Kirby's signature move? Is it just throwing people? Is
Yeah,
it just lariating them
It's
around?
just forcing them to run away from him.
Yep. Could this crowd be any less interested? The most exciting thing they've ever seen is the referee counting. They start booing because they're back in the ring. Boo! Bring back the count
Get out
out.
of the ring.
Just start counting on their own.
Okay.
Look, Ribbie gets some offense in here.
Yeah, he
Ribby's
does.
big.
Oh, he's going for the pin.
Wow.
Didn't even
late
count to
counter
one.
by the ref.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't even count to 1.
Big name bias going on with the referee, okay?
Yeah.
This is, this is
Wait.
FCS Southeast versus Georgia right here, and that referee is giving all the benefits to Georgia.
Yeah, definitely an SEC ref.
Right, you know the FCS Southeast coaches are screaming for a hold right now, and they're just like, "Come on, man!"
You just know it. Oh, what a reversal. He hit,
Oh!
he hit
Oh.
Ribbie in what I can only imagine might be his sternum.
But does a rib have ribs?
Oh, there we go, Kirby. It's some attitude in there.
Threw him the chop.
God, he
Dude.
kicked him in the back of the knee.
Kirby's visor is very long.
Oh, what a move!
Whoa!
I didn't know Kirby had it in him.
When I think about Kirby Smart and athleticism, these two things don't line up like this.
They just
Think
do
of
not.
Kirby
Because
Smart and bland
anytime-
offense.
Yeah, like anytime he goes to chest bump a player after a big play, he always gets launched into space.
Hey, what is the professional wrestling equivalent of like a 4-yard slant route?
It basically is the Miz.
Okay.
It's funny because he I love the Miz. He's a great character and he's a really good wrestler, but he is he's kind of known as being a guy who takes no risks at all. Whereas you've got over here in one realm, you've got the Japanese strong style, which is like a very fine line between actually murdering people, and then you've got the Miz, who is the king of safe style.
Yeah. Okay.
Who is just
So he's a
not
match manager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could say that.
He's the AJ McCarron of professional wrestling.
Whoa,
No deep
look at
crossing
Kirby
routes.
getting all the way across the map, though.
Incredible.
That was
leap.
more than 4 yards.
What-
And Ribbie is falling into the ring.
He is. I noticed that. So for a little while in there, Ribbie was absolutely working Kirby Smart, and Kirby is completely unfazed by it. Like, Ribbie is dry heaving. He's coughing up sauce over here on the ring, and Kirby's just like,
Oh, that might be it.
I think it is. That's it. The
There it
referee,
is. There it is.
Yeah.
So there goes Keith's pick.
The first upset of the match.
anytime that Ribbie tried to pin Kirby, the referee would take his time, wait to get over near Kirby's shoulders. The moment Kirby landed one pin on Ribbie, the ref was like, nope, doesn't matter where I am, I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, you're done. Let's get out of here. That
Can't even see.
But isn't that typical of one of those early season Georgia games where they're playing like a Division II opponent, and you check the score, like maybe you're watching the like whatever the main game at 11 o'clock is, and you check the score, you're like, man, Georgia's down 14-3 in the first quarter. This is crazy. And then you check the score again, and it's like 80-14.
Right. Match 1 in the books. No great surprise. Sorry, Keith. Kirby Smart and his multiple mouths wins.
I mean, who could have called it?
Ooh, the second one. 2 actual coaches.
Derek Mason
had a little
Dan-
beef with each other too, if
Yeah.
I recall.
Yeah.
Derek Mason, the first man to receive a PhD from Vanderbilt for football, which is what his entrance is heavily based on. Dan Mullen, I based his entrance very heavily on John Cena because I feel like just that makes sense. It kind of looked like John Cena when I put his face
tracks.
on there, and then also everybody kind of hates him, but he is great. So that's what his entrance is based on. Wrestling wise, he's based on AJ Styles, who is an objectively great wrestler, one of the 2 best wrestlers in the world right now, I think. But a lot of people hate him because of his personality. But the other thing about AJ Styles, he's very innovative on offense, and he's got a ton of different ways he can beat you. But he does occasionally lose a really dumb match that he shouldn't. So that's what he's doing there. Derek Mason, I based off of Bobby Lashley. Huge, jacked, great shape, got a great pedigree. Should be awesome, but just isn't. And for Derek Mason, that's probably just because he's at Vanderbilt, but whatever. That's kind of where we are.
Perfect. Hey, Ro.
Ro, real quick, with all of your knowledge of what we're watching here, who's your pick to win the East? Who's your pick to win the West? And who do you have winning the whole thing?
Colonel Mark Stoops. For the East. Because he looks like Colonel Sanders.
Yep. Good
And-
choice.
Then in the West, I'll say Edo. And then overall, Ed Orgeron.
All right, gentlemen. Fight number 2. Are you ready?
Of course not.
Oh, we're coming in live from Sydney, Australia.
G'day, mates!
Is he on a turnstile? What's happening?
Yes, he is. This was supposed to be Bobby Roode's theme song, the glorious song.
Look at him.
This guy's a wizard from the Celestial College.
Wow.
285 pounds.
He's a lean
Man.
280, you know?
Yeah, Derek Mason got
Uh-oh.
swole up.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh, no! Sandman,
Oh, no!
Dan Mullen.
Oh, Dan
like I
Mullen's
said,
here.
Oh, no!
Get him!
I could not figure out how to turn this off.
It doesn't matter. It's better this way. Dan Mullen absolutely would be the first coach we see to come charging out when he's not supposed to.
100%. This is so fitting.
Dan Mullen's going to charge out of there going, ow, ah, well, you know, here I come. I'm coming down and punch you in the head.
Dan Mullen's still mad about that almost fight that happened 2 years ago.
Oh,
The other thing about
what did he flip over?
the other thing about this is that coaches' heights and weights are not readily available on the internet. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I had to I didn't mean to make Derek Mason weigh 285.
No, it's
It's better.
It's fine.
He's
Yeah.
just Zion Williamson. That's all he is.
Yeah, that's it.
Super impressed with Derek Mason's ability to keep that hat on his head.
I love that you've basically just dressed Dan Mullen exactly.
Oh, he's off.
What?
Oh, wow.
When did you find the time to do that? When did you find the time, Derek?
What's going on? Man's like Mr. Clean.
Oh!
Oh,
Whoa!
That's
Dan
the
Mullen with the
innovative
high
Florida
flying-
offense.
Yep.
That's right. Get the spread offensive wrestling.
Yep.
Oh,
He calls that move the read option, baby. Just wait. Here comes the bubble screen. Those are the only
That's
two
the,
Dan Mullen plays.
tight end shove.
But he's got
shovel
a
pass.
quarterback power.
Yeah. All right, Derek Mason's working now. Oh!
Oh,
Oh!
strong man.
He was so effortless with it.
Because you can totally see Derek Mason actually doing that to someone.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
oh yeah.
Forget
So
the
literally
fact.
everybody
Yeah, forget the fact that Derek Mason, I'm pretty sure, is like 5'4". He's just
super short.
and 285 IRL. Man, forget Ribbie. Why did we ever get excited about Ribbie? Dan's so happy to be back.
Dan smiling at you. What a psychopath. Dan Mullen would be the type who's like about to lose a match and just grins at the camera.
You win some, you lose some.
Except he's like hoarse the entire time
Right.
for some reason.
He has kicked Derek Mason in the back no less than 4 times already.
Yeah,
Again, it fits like AJ Styles, Dan Mullen both. You
Yeah.
have something that works, you just go back
You just
to
keep
it.
doing it. Yeah, exactly.
I'm a huge fan of the John Cena George though. Real
I was
good.
gonna say I love the fact that you basically just dressed him like John Cena.
I dressed him right, and John Cena is
No.
Samoa Joe.
Dan Mullen's like, hold
Samoa
on,
Joe
remind.
has a beef with Dan Mullen.
He's like, hey, remind me who this is again. Oh, he's already there.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Where was he hiding?
Whoa!
Why did he roll with it?
Samoa Joe and
That's
Samoa Joe
spins.
and
That's
Derek Mason famously good friends.
Yeah, we all know it. Oh my word. Samoa Joe flopped on the ground and rolled like 3 times and then was like, okay, I'm getting out of the ring now.
Yep. Dual barrel roll.
Why does he have a
Uh-oh.
close up?
Who
What?
is it now? It's Cesaro.
What? Why do these two have so much beef with random wrestlers?
Dude,
What is happening?
this would have been a perfect time for Dan Mullen to pull out some brass knuckles from his jorts.
He's too busy.
Of course,
Nah, he's just pacing.
he's too busy
Whoa.
walking towards him and then walking away.
Yep.
Oh man, Derek Mason, he's got some cheap shots now.
Does Cesaro even do anything? He just came out.
No,
and
he just walked out to the ring to yell at him.
What is the
Man, Derek Mason with the huge swing and miss.
What is the point of head SEC ref back here, Hubert Owens? Just not
Just
doing
trying
it.
to,
Let him get away with it.
Derek Mason's drunk now.
Oh my word. Well, okay, now I know where Samoa Joe learned that move from.
Old dude still just kind of hanging out by the front of the ring.
Yeah, he's just there.
His exit gauge is full, according to the bottom of the screen.
Look, if you're Vanderbilt, if you're at the program's disadvantages that they have, like you gotta get outside the ring a little bit. You know, you gotta wear them down how you can.
Totally understand that. Do you think that wearing a necktie in the ring is a disadvantage? I feel
Here
like
we
that's
go.
Mullins
Dan
about
Mullen.
to end it right here.
all right, I don't know about this.
He's about to
man.
go deep.
Oh, Dan!
Oh,
Phenomenal
hit it.
forearm.
Hit him with the
That's
QB
it.
power.
That's it.
Look at that grin. He's done for.
Yep.
Psychopath. It's so wonderful.
Yeah. That phenomenal forearm. It'll get you.
That was
Joseph, you were
Wait.
asking a question about a necktie in the ring.
It doesn't matter anymore. I'm so distracted by a perfectly executed QB power from the 2-yard line to finish the match.
Every moment of this
Samoa
whole
Joe.
match was Dan Mullen's favorite moment of his entire life.
He's just loving it. Oh, he's so happy with himself.
I love being pinned.